Ready. Hey community, today I'm gonna come on and tell you guys about what not to do in college. So this is a list of 8 things that I came up with to not do in college. For those of you who don't know, I go to Boston College. I'm gonna be a sophomore. I'm gonna be an RA, and these are the things that I learned last year not to do. The first one is don't get blackout drunk frequently. So obviously, like, I should be telling you that it's ideal not to get blackout drunk at all, but it's gonna happen to everyone, or like most people, that they'll get it at least once or twice or whatever. So just try not to be blackout drunk frequently. My best friend slash roommate Hannah and I actually realized that it's way more fun to hang out even when you're like dead sober, but especially when you're not blackout drunk, because you forget things, you're just not yourself, and it was just way more fun being more aware of ourselves and in our bodies. That sounds weird to say, but like more aware and conscious of the decisions we're making. And we were actually able to have more fun that way because we could remember what we did later. Also, just like out of respect to your friends, if you're getting blackout drunk, hopefully you're not taking care of yourself and someone's watching out for you. So just out of respect for the friends who are watching out for you, like, don't be that friend that they always have to watch for, or always have to be like holding their hair back or taken care of and stuff like that, alright? Because like, it just stinks to be that friend. I was that friend like 4 or 5 times, and it wasn't fun. The second thing is don't be a disrespectful roommate. So I'm gonna have a video coming on this that goes into more depth of like how to be a good roommate, or like, there's like a hair, how to have a good roommate experience. But for now, just know that like you should be respectful of the person that you're living with, and just because they seem nice, just because they seem chill, doesn't mean that that's like your green card to go ahead and abuse them being nice and cordial. You still want to keep your side of the room clean. You still want to turn the lights off at a decent hour, or when they tell you to, or when they ask you to because they're trying to sleep, or like shut off your TV because they're trying to sleep. Like, I don't know, whatever. Like, whatever it is, you still want to be conscientious of those things, almost especially because you're closer with them. I know it sounds like, oh, now that I'm closer with them and we're like better friends, maybe like I could kind of loosen up on those things, which is true to an extent. But maybe the reason that you're close friends is because you were good about those things before. So just keep that in mind. The third thing is don't skip class. I only skipped class when I wasn't feeling well, or like I really needed sleep. And then I skipped class like maybe 2 or 3 other times that like weren't because I was extremely tired or something like that. This class I skipped most was anatomy, like ironically enough, because that was probably the most important class, but the lectures she recorded them and they just made no sense to me, and I needed to pause and slow them down anyway. So that's why I skipped those. But then in second semester I went most of the time, and I think I skipped maybe twice. But yeah, don't skip class just because like you're paying, or your parents paying, or your guardian's paying for you to go to school. And I went to public school my whole life, so it was like free, you know. But like now I'm having a $70K annual education, and so we're paying for me to go to class, so I try not to skip. It's gonna happen. There are gonna be times when you really want to. There are gonna be times when you really need to. But just try to go. That's it for that. My fourth thing is don't limit yourself to a certain friend group, because there's so many people on campus, and especially in the beginning, you're gonna find like your group, you know, or you're gonna be hoping to find your group of like 4 or 5 people at least who you just kind of hang with them and it feels less uncomfortable to go into the lunchroom and not know who to sit with and whatever, and you do stuff with them and you hang with them and it's all great. But don't limit yourself to that group. I'd say try to make a conscious effort to, throughout the year, keep making friends, because you want to have multiple options and multiple parts of your life where you feel comfortable. Like if your friend group isn't around, then you can hang out with other people. Or if two people in your friend group are fighting, then you have other friends to fall back on and like kind of get away from that scene, you know what I mean? So you can have multiple friend groups in the way that they're the friends that you just let loose with and do nothing with and relax and watch a movie, and they're the friends that you go out with. I mean like out like at night, Friday night, not like go out with, date them. And then there are the friends that, you know, you study with, you know, just like have a whole plethora for different situations and different feelings and times and whatever. Just have different people to fall back on and hang out with and stuff, and that will be a lifesaver, really. My fifth tip is kind of going along that lines, and it's don't ditch your friends when you're going out. So especially if it's just you and one other person or even two other people, don't ditch your friends for like a guy or something or whoever you're into without being like, is this okay? Are you okay? Like, how are you getting home? Like, ask them first, like, are you having fun? Like, observe them and see if they're by themselves or hanging out with your other friend or something. Just say like, how are you guys getting home? Blah, blah, blah. Is it okay if I go with these people or if I hang out with this person? Make sure to tell them you'll keep them updated and then actually keep them updated. But yeah, don't just ditch your friends when you're going out, especially if you brought them to a party. They already don't know many people, so don't just like leave them, you know. Number 6 is don't lock yourself in your room all the time. I was bad about this the second semester. I think so were a lot of people, just because like the year is winding down, but it's also at its peak where there's so many things happening and it's suddenly like, oh my god, this isn't midterm season, it's just the whole time all your professors are examining you. And I locked myself in my room a lot just because I was so busy that I wanted to force myself to have free time and me time, even if it was for like a day, just because like I felt the need to reset from doing so much, and I felt like I couldn't really get a grip on my life because I either had too little time to reset or like weirdly a lot of time to reset, and it was like weird. But I'd say if you're gonna lock yourself in your room, try to lock yourself in your room with a friend or set a timer that's like, all right, 2 hours, and then I'm either gonna be productive and hopefully go to the lounge or the library or, you know, the dining hall or something to get work done, so I'm like around people and like still connecting with the world around me, kind of. Definitely take your me time, but also don't just be in your room all the time. So tip number 7, we're getting close to the end. Tip number 7 is don't prioritize anything or anyone above your mental health. So what I mean by this, yes, grades are important. Yes, your friends are important. Yes, clubs and all those things, important. But if you are stressed out of your mind, or if you're so tired, or blah, 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 you shouldn't be saying, oh, okay, fine, I'll like do that favor for you, or like I'll listen to you rant for 3 hours when I really have a project that's like weighing on my mind and has been weighing on my mind for a week. No, you can still be a good friend or a good person and a stable, sane person with telling people no, or telling people, you know, a compromise. Like, sure, I'll listen to you rant, but I also have this group project, so I'll need to go by like a half hour. Or, sure, I'll listen to you rant, but I also have this group project, so like, would you mind if I just colored while you ranted or whatever? There's ways to be good friends without totally like blocking them out and without totally not prioritizing yourself. As far as grades, it's hard to not compare yourself, especially when the professor's always like, this is the average and this is the median and this is blah, 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 blah. But Some people are working themselves into the ground to get those grades. I don't think you understand. Some people aren't. Some people are just naturally people who can get A's. Some people are cheating. That's just what it is. But if you're so stressed that you're like crying yourself to sleep at night, or you're just stressed in general all the time, just go to sleep. Like, do the studying that you can and go to sleep, or like hang out with friends. This is college, okay? Yes, it's about education, but it's also your only college experience, unless you go to like grad school or whatever, but that's different, you know? You're not going to be this age again. You're not going to be in this situation again where there's a million people who are your age who are all figuring it out at the same time and who are all looking for friends as well. It's such a unique situation that's designed for you to have self-growth and education and fun, and like you're never going to be in this situation again for all you know, so you might as well take advantage of it. I don't want the only accomplishment I made in college to be that I got straight A's, because like, cool, but that's just kind of a weird flex at this point. And did I come out with friends? Because if I didn't, I consider that like a failure, really. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of all parts of your life. And if one has to slip for you to maintain sanity, that's okay. And let it slip for that day, you know, or that week even. Just because like it's most important that you're happy. And I don't mean happy as in like suppressing all your negative feelings and blah, 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 because I definitely did some of that. But I mean happy as in like you are proud of yourself at the end of the day. You feel like you can actually sleep at night, you know, and you are able to work through challenge. Because I don't think that you can work through challenges as well when you're already in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Like when you're in a happy mood, you're like more motivated to work through challenge, and I feel like you can get more done, you're more productive. So just take care of yourself and your mental health before you prioritize anything or anyone else. So my last tip is kind of similar to the don't lock yourself in your room thing, but it's don't isolate yourself. So you're going to have to find a balance between, like I was just saying, prioritizing yourself and your mental health, and also still pushing yourself, still meeting people, because it's easy to be like, oh my god, I've been at class all day and I just want to go back to the room and watch TV, which I did a lot of, like that feeling and that thought exactly. But if your friend is like, hey, do you want to like get lunch? Try to say yes in most cases, because chances are you're going to get lunch and then you were going to go back to the room and watch TV anyway. So like if you don't have anything that immediately needs your attention that you need to get to in the room, maybe take your friend up on that offer, or even ask your friend, do you want to get late lunch? Just so that you're still connecting with people. You're not going to meet anyone new in your dorm room, I can tell you that. So just make sure that you're still connecting with the world. I feel like after like Easter break, which was March or something, or April or something, I felt like I was disconnected and I felt out of it. Like I felt out of it, as in like, what am I doing even? Like, where am I right now? And I think a lot of that was because I was locking myself in my room and not connecting with people, and really just continuing to further my friendships and stuff like that, because you want to be in touch while you're here to make the most out of your 3, 4, 2, 5, 6 years, you know? So just keep that in mind. And yeah, so those are my 8 tips for what not to do in college. I could try to think of 8 more if you want another video like this, or comment below suggestions. I'm like always looking for new video ideas, because like I could come up with the video ideas, but like I want them to be ones that you guys want to watch, you know what I mean? So comment below what you'd like to see next on How to Crush School or Young Adulting 101, and I will talk to you soon.